Hey, what is up guys? My name is Josiah and welcome back to another edition of my Modern House tutorial series. Now the house I'll be building today is quite unique as it comes with a long window that spans across the front and back of the house between a couple stone beams, as well as featuring many other cool things like its large second floor deck area. Not only that, but the house's compact design makes it quick to build while also providing plenty of rooms and space for everything you need. So without any further ado, let's get right into building it. Now first up, we will lay out the foundation of the house. So let's start by placing in a 15 by 11 long ring of stone blocks that is 2 blocks tall. Then once you have the stone foundation in place, let's next line the inside of it with a ring of gray concrete that is 4 blocks tall. And now within this area, let's replace the grass with white concrete. Then with the floor in place, we can now cover up this area at the top layer with more gray concrete. Next we'll add in the entrance to the house. So at this front left corner, let's start by removing a 3 wide section of the stone foundation at the first 3 blocks of the gray concrete wall. Then within this gap we made, let's add in a couple rows of stone slabs as a small staircase. And now lastly, at the middle of this gap, let's place in a door from the top of these steps, and then also on the inside we can add in a couple steps here as well. Next we'll add a couple stone beams across this area. So at the right side of this entrance, let's start by placing in 2 stone columns that are 8 blocks tall and spaced a block apart from each other. Now once these 2 columns are up, let's then add an additional 6 blocks off the backs of them on top of the stone foundation so the columns are 2 blocks thick. So once the columns are like this, we can then add in these same columns at the same spot at the back of the house. And then with all 4 columns up, let's now connect the columns parallel to each other by placing stone blocks across the top layers of these to create some beams. Next, for just this front right column, we'll extend it back a bit since the deck will go here later. So simply place in a 3 wide wall of stone here between the beam and gray concrete. So now with the two beams finished up, we'll next add in glass blocks between them. So let's first clear out some space for them by removing the stone blocks and bottom 3 gray concrete blocks between these columns, and also replacing the floor within these walls with white concrete. So then with this space cleared out, let's now place in black stained glass blocks between these beams, a block in and under them as I do here. Then with the glass in place, let's now go inside and remove the gray concrete that borders these windows and replace the floor with white concrete. Next up, we'll add the second floor onto the house. So starting at the left side of the stone beams, let's place in white concrete walls that hang a block out from the gray concrete and goes up 3 blocks. Then we can cover across the top layer of these walls with more white concrete up to the edge of the stone beams. Now at the right side of the stone beams we can do the same thing, however we will only extend the walls up to the end of the stone wall we extended out earlier. Next we'll extend down a couple white concrete columns at the front right corner of the wall we just made. So down from this corner, place in white concrete blocks and remove any stone in the way, and then we can add in a second column a block apart from this one. Now in between these columns, let's remove the stone and bottom 3 gray concrete blocks, and then we can add in black stained glass panes between the white concrete here. So now with this in place, let's then go on the inside and remove the gray concrete at the sides of this window we just placed. Next up we will add in the deck area at the front right part of the house. So let's first add in a door at the side of this stone wall, and then we can add in a railing around the edge of this area using black stained glass panes. Next up we'll add in the rest of the windows to the house. So let's start with the second floor and place in 3 black stained glass panes above this front door here. Then at the deck area, let's place in a 5 wide and 2 tall window along this white concrete wall. And now at this right side, let's place in a row of glass panes that extends around to the back like I do here. Next we'll add in the bottom floor windows. So let's start by adding 3 single windows along this front right gray concrete wall. And then once we have these windows in place, we can actually add the same thing at the back and left sides of the house. So now with all the windows in place, we can finish up the house with a few decorations. So let's start that by placing bushes around the entire stone foundation using leaf blocks. And lastly, we can add a couple flower pots and ferns at the sides of the entrance. Now as for what you want in the interior of the house, I'll leave that entirely up to you guys, but as always I'll quickly show you how I decorated mine as an example. But that is going to be all for this modern house tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it and thank you so much for watching. As always, I'd love to hear all your feedback and don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed, as that would be much appreciated. And with that said, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Later guys, bye bye.